Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson is going against Rajon Rondo, a different point guard matchup because Rondo is a very solid defender. And also, they're bringing Darren Collison off the bench. So Clarkson might have some trouble sledding going forward against those two guys. I like D'Angelo Russell because Ben McLemore doesn't seem like he's somewhere on this planet. But on the flip side, I don't think there's one Laker who's going to be able to guard DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins might go for 40 tonight, and I think the Kings will win, not just because of Boogie, because Rudy Gay can't be guarded either. I think if Gay has to be guarded by Kobe, Kobe can't change Rudy Gay all over the floor. It's just not going to happen. Kobe's not that type of player or defender any longer, and Rudy Gay should have his way. You should see a lot more Willie Cauley-Stein because Roy Hibbert is not exactly the most mobile center. And if you want to bring out, the mobility of Roy Hibbert, you use athletic big. So I expect to see Willie Cauley-Stein maybe catch a couple alley-oops, and the Kings should win this game. I like the Lakers if the Lakers can use Julius Randle, who had double in the first game. Hibbert doubled, and really, if Kobe can shoot the ball better, Lakers have a shot at it, and they get more from Russell, they have a shot at it. Yeah, like Jay said, Lou Williams and Nick Young will provide a lot of scoring off the bench. If Lou Will can shoot the same way he did opening night, you get some contribution from Young, and they can find maybe a little bit more from Roy Hibbert offensively. Lakers have a chance, but in my pick, I'm picking the Kings in a runaway. Last game on the schedule, Portland and Phoenix, two teams that had two totally different opening nights. Phoenix laid a dud against Dallas, and Markieff Morris played like Morris the Cat in the first game. 14 minutes and did nothing. PJ Tucker did nothing. Tyson Chandler did nothing. Eric Bledsoe struggled. And TJ Warren struggled. This was a game full of struggling all across the board from the Suns. Jeff Hornacek has to make a lot of changes and a lot of adjustments. They don't have all the firepower they had last season, especially missing Gerald Green. Devin Booker was the complete different story outside of Brandon Knight. Bledsoe was the only, not Bledsoe, but Booker was the only one actually doing something. Booker, 14 points in 21 minutes, provided good shooting, a good scoring touch. He should get more minutes going forward, but it has to be on Markieff Morris in this matchup because Portland is very poor on the inside. They're starting Plumlee, Noah Vonleh, Aminu, not too many guys that are worth talking about. But on Portland's end, they went in opening night and blasted the New Orleans Pelicans. Sans about the 6 minutes where the Pelicans fought back, CJ McCollum, 37 points, career high. They had to use Dame Lillard as much as people thought they were. But McCollum is that type of scorer. If you remember him back at Colgate in college, he was lighting people up left and right. And you put him and Lillard in both of a combo guard type role because McCollum can handle the ball, which lets Lillard, who's a good shooter, play more of the off ball, and vice versa. So both those guys can be interchangeable, and it causes a lot of problems. But the good news for Phoenix is that both their guards are both interchangeable because Knight can play the two and Bledsoe can play the point. Now, neither one are as good shooters as the Portland backcourt. So the interchangeability are both fully functional in this game. But the key for this game tonight is can Portland use their bigs to draw out Alex Len, Tyson Chandler, and you get Plumlee scoring early, Vonleh, and I think a guy that nobody's really talking about is Gerald Henderson. If Henderson can somehow play effective minutes off the bench, then Portland will win this game. But I'm taking Phoenix in a close one, but I like CJ McCollum to have another big game for tonight. And of course, Dame Lillard won't have 21 points, or quite 21. He might end up with 30 tonight. But I'm taking Phoenix at home because I don't think Phoenix is going to have those same type of effort they had at opening night. And it's not too many duds that Markieff Morris is going to have, especially if he wants to be traded or get out of Phoenix as bad as people want them to be. Let's take a look at the weekend games. Since we won't be on the air Saturday or Sunday, let's take a few games that sound interesting. Saturday night, NBA TV, Golden State returns to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. The Warriors are a back-to-back, and the Pelicans, they've struggled the first two games. They should get more minutes out of Jrue Holiday. Of course, Eric Gordon's been playing pretty well. Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis. But the only main problem is that they're running out of guards. They just signed Tony Douglas, released Nate Robinson. The Pelicans are so hurt right now. Hopefully, Asik gets back in lineup. They just got Ajinça back. They're not very deep. And really, this is a playoff rematch from last year where the Pelicans gave Golden State everything it could. And you remember the big game in New Orleans where Curry hit that three-pointer over Anthony Davis, which, solidified the MVP, him being worthy of MVP. Also on Saturday night, NBA TV's other game of the doubleheader, Sacramento takes on the Clippers. Now, as we all know, DeMarcus Cousins came out in the media and said, I just don't like them when it comes to referring to the Clippers. And the Clippers, 2-0, you have all that talent all across the board. And the Kings are on a back-to-back playing both LA teams. I like the Kings this game only because of DeMarcus Cousins. I think the Kings will go into LA and beat the Clippers. DeMarcus Cousins, I think, goes for 35 and 15 because it's Blake Griffin. He has something to prove. Boogie is on that, I call it, redemption tour to let the league know that he's just not just a good pop player. He is an elite player. He wants to carry this team to the playoffs, and he's going to show it not with this emotion, costing his team. He's going to show it with winning basketball games. And I think this is the first step. Now, Chris Paul is going against Rondo, and Rondo likes playing up for bigger point guards. And then when you have Rondo and Collison together against Chris Paul, not say Chris Paul is not going to do anything, it's going to be a little bit tougher than most nights. And, Collison's a good defender, and we all know how good Rondo is. So I like the Clippers to fall short on Saturday night. Let's go into Sunday. Some of the key games on Sunday, Rockets and Heat. Very interesting game down in South Florida. James Harden against Dwayne Wade. Dwight Howard against Chris Bosh. You can go individual matchups, but the one I like is Goran Dragic and Ty Lawson. Two different point guards. Lawson likes to run. Dragic a little bit more methodical. What the key to this game is, can Kevin McHale somehow neutralize the Heat bench that has Justice Winslow, Gerald Green, Amari Stoudemire, who has not played yet, Josh McRoberts, Mario Chalmers. The Heat bench is deep, and not as deep as the Rockets. The Rockets don't have all the front line help back because Monty isn't back, and Dwight Howard is just getting back in rotation. But if McHale can keep this team running and get the game running and keep it not being so low post, the Rockets have a chance. But the Heat depth will be the deciding factor. I like Winslow. I like Chalmers. And I like, ironically, I want to say, is Gerald Green. Green becomes another X factor. The Heat handle business. They're at home. But don't be surprised if James Harden has one of those throwback James Harden games where he goes for 35, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, and just plays effectively all over the floor, drawing fouls. But the one thing I love about this game is Wade and Harden gets the line. I want to see who draws more fouls. Does Harden get to the line 10 to 15 times? Does Wade do that? Does Wade just go at Harden? That's going to be a fun matchup to watch. Also on Sunday, an interesting matchup, the Bucks and the Raptors in Toronto. That's not a game that doesn't sound marquee type, but these are two teams in the East that are going to be fighting for that 3-6, and it's a good early season test, especially for the Raptors being at home, playing against a solid team, and really trying to get DeMar Carroll involved in the offense. They have a good game tonight, and if he gets more acclimated, especially with this team, maybe they can start using him more at the 4. Instead of using the Scola and Patrick Patterson rotation, you can use more of Carroll at the 4 as more of a leg 4, and somehow find a way to use Terrence Ross, or even do what they did in the opener, is use Corey Joseph to go with Kyle Lowry and DeRozan at the 3. That way, you have much more a defensive team on the floor, and you have a lot more versatility and much more athleticism. Now, the key is can Valanciunas outplay Greg Monroe? If he does that, the Raptors win. But if Monroe does what he did in the opener, 22 and 14, and gets some help from the rest of the team around him, the Bucks are going to win this game. Me personally, I'm taking the Raptors. So that's pretty much what's going on this weekend. Hit us up on Twitter at FCP, sorry, NBAFCPradio.com. Also, our website, www.NBAFCPradio.com. We have good articles coming out over the next couple days. Jay's Fantasy will be up every single day to help you with your lineups, especially on Sunday. He's going to try to have it early on Sunday because we know about the early game with I think involving the Celtics and the Spurs on Sunday. And that's another game to watch. Celtics and Spurs, interesting set of teams. Both teams are very deep. The Celtics are trying to make a statement early in the season, and the Spurs, I think every team wants to make a statement against them. And it's a good early season barometer for a coach like Brad Stevens to see where his team is based on early in the season. Also, follow me on Twitter at NBADT29. Check us out on Facebook at Full Court Press Radio on Facebook. Also, want to give a shout out to the sponsors: SoFo LLC, Jim Fouquet Realty, Late Night Parents, as well as Hoop Culture, Action Parks, and our good friends at Trackaholics, who's been providing all the music and the background beats over the last couple of days. And like I said, we're going to get better with this. Spreaker and I are starting to figure this out, and we want more people involved as we get this going. So starting Monday, 407-378-3717. We're going to be here every single day during the season, Monday through Friday, here on the morning tip-off here on Spreaker. We want to have you guys a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday.